Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be telling you guys all the tea about my career history and my salary. I'm going to tell you exactly how I went from broke to a homeowner to a project associate and also to an entrepreneur all at 23. And I actually took the unconventional route. I have no degree. The only courses I've done are all courses in-house within my corporation. I haven't actually spent money on doing any course or apprenticeship or anything of the sort. My first experience of working was actually my pre-teens, and this was when I used to help out at my aunt's restaurant. So I grew up in Jamaica and my aunt grew me for some of my childhood, and while I was with her she was a full-time entrepreneur. So she had several businesses such as restaurants. She owned not a car company but like an alarm system. She owned restaurants in Kingston, she owned restaurants in St. Thomas, like literally she had a few business going on, right? Since I don't have a company internet to embarrass myself, me eat this. While I think I was in like the 5th or the 6th grade in secondary school, and I really hope someone from my school can comment on this video. So the school that I went to, her restaurant was literally probably like 5 minutes up the road. So basically what I used to do is just convince everybody in my class to stop buying from the canteen and buy from her restaurant as well. And then obviously she didn't ask me to do it, like that was just my initiative. I was like, raw, like my aunt's restaurant's up here, why don't I just let everyone come? So like obviously it started first with like my crew, and then after my crew like everybody just started come until like the whole 6th grade normally got a restaurant. And it was a proper thing, like a proper thing. And then obviously like me and her would have conversations, and she would just be like, okay, if you get this amount of students to come, I'll buy you this, or we'll do this, and da 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 da. So it was really a training system, but at the same time like she used to break down business to me. But you see, the same way how you would talk to your parents about, I don't know, like just your normal day at school, like we wouldn't have that relationship. Instead, like if we're just driving in the car, she would just be like, okay, this is what I would do to this building here, this is how I would commercialize it, this is how I would make X amount, these are the type of employees that I look for. Like she would literally just teach me everything that there is to know about business, but not in a formal classroom setting. It's literally just like on the way home or on the way to school or on my lunch break. She'd be like, oh, you know, say that person here come today and they're gonna pay me da 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 da, or this happening or that happening or blah blah blah. So I was fully educated on the business world before I was even a teenager, and that's literally all because of her. And she obviously brought down everything to me and taught me the importance of having multiple incomes, hence why she had multiple business. She taught me the importance of paying taxes, like just a lot of knowledge that I have now. Everything really just started with her. So that's how I got introduced to the corporate world, to the entrepreneur world, to every world. So that's what happened. I am using a darker foundation today, guys, because I'm very pale and I don't like looking pale. But by the time I'm done, it's gonna look everything will look the same. So yeah, that was like my first little job. After that, now leading from that, I then migrated to the UK. Basically I came here in August, I did my job interview in September, I started the job in October. Absolutely crazy. My first official job was the title of a waiting list coordinator, and I was working part-time, and at that point in time every month I was earning £500 to £600, and to me like that was a lot of money, like just having that income every month, something to look forward to, because you know in college you don't really have a lot of expenses. I didn't own a car, so the only thing I was really doing was just paying for like my transportation every now and again, lunch money, and also chipping in the house. Personally, I don't actually feel like I don't think teenagers should be contributing to the house. I don't think black children that are living at home should contribute to the house. It's just another way of us stopping generational wealth, because no one actually gets the build. Instead we all just stay at the same place, but that's for another day. Anywho, so as I was saying, in this first job as a waiting list coordinator, basically my job was Oh, what about today? Sorry, my job was to register patients, book their appointments, find their referrals. So I really learned a lot about systems. I really became proficient in using computerized system. But even though this was my first job, I actually struggled with doing it because I had to go to college from, like, just say my normal college day would be from like 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then my actual job starts at 4:45 to 8 p.m. So I had a 45-minute gap. I really struggled with time management here because, like I said, I was going to college from 8 a.m. I finished college 4 o'clock. My job starts 4:45. I finished 8 o'clock. And there was no room for, you know, using the toilet after college, getting ready, prepping up. I would literally just leave college, run underground, take the train and run to work. So I was just literally all over the place. Whenever I got to work, I just always felt flustered and not quite settled, and because of that I was also late a lot of the time. And because this was my first job, like, I don't know, it just felt a lot harder when I was doing it at the time. Like, I just felt like it was impossible to get to work on time. But I think by the time I was in my probably like the 8th month, not even 8, probably 6 months onward, I kind of started to understand how to work around it. And then at that point in time, I also started to ask my college tutors to let me out earlier just so that I could get to work on time, because I just got fed up of always being late. So that's what happened there. In that job though, there was a lot of black people. Like, it was the lowest level in the company. So basically in the company, I work in healthcare, and in the company they go up by different bands, right? So the way I entered was in a band 3 job, and with that job, like, it's entry level. And what I noticed was that that's where most of the black people were. Like, almost all the black people at that job were always sales and not doers. Like, everyone would just be like, okay, I want a promotion, I'm going to get a promotion this month, blah blah blah. And then 3 months pass and them still in the same job. Like, 6 months pass, them still in the same position. So I didn't want to become one of those people. So that was when I just made a conscious decision that no matter what situation I'm in, I'm going to leave the job after a year, because that's how long my brain normally takes to get things, like anything at all. Normally take me a year before I feel like, okay, yeah, my master this now. So once I made that conscious decision, obviously it came to the point where I was finished college now. And like I said to you guys, I couldn't go to college because when you migrate to the UK, you have to be here for 3 years before you're actually qualified for the government loan. And obviously I wasn't qualified because I had only been here for 2 years when it was time for me to go to university. So basically, while I was in that job as a band 3, the opportunity came up for me to elevate to a band 4 position, and I applied and I got rejected. And in hindsight, like, I actually wasn't ready for that job, but I just took it because it was an opportunity. Nonetheless, when I left college now, obviously I was in need of a job, and then another job came up, but it wasn't band 4, it was band 3. And I thought, instead of working part-time and literally just making it by, why don't I just do full-time employment, learn as much as I can, try to maneuver around the team and learn every one job, do overtime, just work, literally just work, maximize working, maximize learning about the company, maximize everything that is there to do. So that's what I did. I applied for the full-time position. Thankfully I got it, and from then on I was basically unstoppable. When I got into that position again, I told myself 1 year max and then it's time to go. This time round, I think I stayed there for about 6 or 8 months. It literally wasn't long because obviously I had been doing part-time, so I knew the job. So now it was literally just for me to learn everyone else's job so I could become an asset to then move on to the next level. So while I was in that job now, once I became full-time, I then started to obviously learn everyone else's job, and that was through overtime and also just being bold. Like, I would just ask, like, what's your job, what do you do every day, would you mind showing me what you do? And obviously I would also let the manager know that, look, I'm interested in progressing further in the trust, so any courses that you think would be useful, please send them my way. And that wasn't really done at that level because at that level, like I said, it's entry job, so you literally just do administration. So I didn't actually get to do a lot of training there, but I did get crazy overtime. Like, I used to work crazy hours, like 12-hour shifts back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Saturday me that, Sunday me that, Monday to Friday me that. Work, 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 work. In this job as well, I also learned how to negotiate my annual leave. So instead of just having regular annual leave, I obviously like to go back home and spend at least a month there. So I explained that to my manager, and we came up with the, oh my god, I should have sprayed my face. We came up with the agreement of basically, instead of me working and getting paid, I would get annual leave instead. So if I work 1 full day, I get 1 full day in annual leave. So obviously at that time it worked for me, because my only interest was going back home and going on girls trip and traveling with my friends. Like, that's just all I wanted to do, just travel, travel, travel. So that's how I had a lot of annual leave. And the people in the team would just wonder, like, how do I have so much annual leave, this. But you know, working for just tell people to just mind them business. It was one of them ones. So if you have sense, you can always negotiate the terms of your employment, and that's how I actually did my one. For my second actual real job now, this I actually got because of all of the overtime I used to do in my first job. My second job is a personal assistant, and at that point I was earning 26,000. So actually my previous job, I was earning 20,750 per year once I became full-time. My second job, I was earning 26,000 per year, so that's an extra $6,000. That's not bad. To go up a band, right? I'm just gonna try something. I'm gonna do this, but I see people do it. So I'm gonna try to see how it go look, because I'm using the darker foundation. I'm gonna try to do this soft glam look. So I'm not using no contour. It not look bad. But now I see I'm turn on the light so you can see the contour. I'm gonna try. There's something there. Well, you can't really see now, but I may say so. That's all that matters. So yeah guys, my second job, I was a personal assistant, and in this role, this was the first time I actually saw a black woman in a senior position, and that alone was so inspiring to me. And that black woman actually became a really good friend of mine. So she looked out for me in that job. Like literally any little training that was there, she just like, okay, you can do this. Anything that I wasn't unsure about, I could always go to her and be like, okay, this is the career move that I want to make, what do you think? This is the job piece that I have doing now, am I doing it correctly, etc, etc. So this is why I feel like it's so important, like it's actually imperative to have diversity within teams, and there has to be representation for minority groups, because that give up, isn't it? Like it makes us see that it's actually possible to get to that level. Also in this job, the reason why I really wanted to become a personal assistant, it wasn't really to do the actual job, but it was more so the people that I was going to be around, because in this job it had all of the senior nurses, and these nurses are the ones to really change the policy, to create the programs for the nurses, to do CPD courses. Like literally they're like the top dogs, like the top dog them. So I was like, okay, let me go around these top dogs, because I'm sure I can learn how to be a. So once I got around them, so be it. Like they taught me so much in that team, like, and it's not even about the job kind of teaching, it's more so like about life and men and careers and options out there, and literally just everything that I was missing in. Like they literally taught me so much, they gave me so much exposure. In this job, I remember coming in and my manager was just explaining to me that she employed me because of my aura and stuff, and I was just asking her, like, each time I have an interview I always ask for feedback. So I was just asking her if there's anything I could improve on, and obviously she was just like, it would be beneficial to do certain courses like minute taking, presentation skills, improving my communication, because at that point in time, like, my Caribbean accent was so strong, and I used to write the way I speak. So like, you know, in Jamaica we speak in broken English, so that's how I used to write. Like, I can write proper English, you know, but it's not as proper as the British English. So she really took her time to like teach me how to write emails and to write and to do presentations. Like, literally all of the women there, like, they were just phenomenal women, and majority of them were white. But even though they were white, either they had a black husband or they're, I don't know, like, they're mixed. So they, like, the mom side is black and they're white. So in terms of diversity, like, I've never, like, even though I was the only black girl there, like skin black girl, other than me and the other lady, I've never felt excluded because they've never made me feel that way. In this job, they were basically just pioneering an apprenticeship scheme in the entire organization, and that just goes to show you like the kind of woman that I was around. Like, they were literally policy makers. Like, they're the ones that made the decisions that needs to be made. So I went around them, and like I said, the knowledge that I gained is literally invaluable. And that's the thing with some young people. Most times we're so short-sighted, we don't really get to see that actually right now money is not what you need, experience is what you need, a repetition is what you need. Like, you need to build up your name in these streets, and in that role, that's exactly what I went to do. I make sure that I networked, and like I said, I had an amazing manager, so she would literally just put me on courses just because, let me leave the team and go to a different site just because, like, literally just for the experience, because she could see me a lot further than I could even see myself. So she literally just gave me the tools that I needed to move on. And even before moving on, like, she literally just put me on the training that I needed to be on so I could get to the next level, which is becoming a team leader and gaining managerial experience. And let me tell you something, these women, like, their husbands, like, just one of them for example, one of them, like, when she was getting engaged, her husband designed a ring for her and a necklace to match. Not even she didn't get engaged, no, this was for Christmas. Me get it wrong. I think he got her a car or something crazy like that for engagement. But for Christmas, he designed a ring for her, he designed a necklace to match, he designed earrings to match. Like, these were some wealthy, high profile people, and that was the circle I needed to get in, and that's the kind of experience that I needed at that point in time to network, to upskill, to gain knowledge, to move on to the next level. So I'm so grateful for that job. Literally one of the best jobs I've had. Like, they gave me so much experience, they gave me the opportunity to work on projects that weren't even on my job description or in my remit, but just because I told them about my interest, they basically just supported me to get to the next step. My third job now, this one was